Okay, you gotta listen to this.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Who would have thought that AI can transform your own voice into a completely different sounding voice? And not only that, you can make a whole choir sound out of just your own voice. I'm a professional singer and I have tons of experience singing in choirs, even sang in a Grammy award-winning choir performance. And I never thought I'd come to the day where I could sing in one thing and get a whole choir out of just my own voice. I wanna show you how this is all possible with a software called Ace Studio, which is the sponsor of this video. Ace Studio generates AI vocals through both MIDI as well as just your raw singing. Super cool. So let me show you how you can do this. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I have recorded a keys and piano part that I'll put in here just as a guide. And I'm going to sing on top of that with another audio track here. And then I'm just going to sing Amazing Grace and then switch it into female voice. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. All right, then what we need to do is we need to change that vocal to MIDI and lyrics. All right, sounds super low for this female singer. So what we gotta do, click on one note, select Command A to get all of the notes selected, then do Shift up arrow to put that up an octave, and now everything is up an octave.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
So good, super cool. And now what's cool is because this is MIDI data, here you can see the lyrics, and sometimes it comes up with a little bit different, like it said graze instead of grace. So maybe we could change it and we'll see if it sounds any different.
Amazing grace, how...
But honestly, usually I've found that it's better to keep what it came up with if it sounds okay, because when you change the word, sometimes it adds some artifacts to it. Now, because it's MIDI data, what's really cool is that we could change the key on this as well. And so I pulled in this track, piano track, in the key of D. And so if I just play it, obviously, now with this one, it's gonna sound bad. Right? Two different competing keys. But if I do the same thing, click a note, click Command A to select everything. And then if I go up 2 half steps, now it should match.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Amen, so good. And now we could send it out to our singers in a different key and it would still work just fine. And now similarly, you can take this, and if I want to, I could bring back my original one that I sang. So now we could have octaves going on. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. I think it's so cool how it adds the expression so similarly. Like the wherever I did vibrato, it's doing vibrato, just how I sang it matches so nicely. And now what you can do as well is I could duplicate this track. I'll create another track and I'll copy it. I'm gonna mute this one. And now I could add some harmony just through the MIDI notes. So for example, I could go, this would be, let's say, a C, and this would be E, these ones, and then these ones, and then how is gonna be on a G, sweet is gonna be an F, sweet, that will be a D, and then the last note here. Okay, let's listen to how that would be.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
That's insane. A few clicks, we got a harmony part that actually sounds quite decent. Now, if you wanna get better at harmonizing yourself, like coming up with harmony parts by ear, then I've put together a harmony challenge, which you can find in the description. It's free to start and work through. Each challenge is progressively harder in harmonizing, so you might find that interesting. So anyway, there's another way to import that I think is really, really cool and I wanna show you, and that is straight from the notation software. And I wanna show you why I like this. I use MuseScore. MuseScore is just a free notation software. And what you can do is you can export, most notation softwares, you can export as an XML. So watch this, music XML, great. So then you can export this, and then watch, I'll save it. And then what I can do is I can grab that XML, pull it in, and then it asks if you want to apply the same tempo and everything, and we'll say yes. So let's just listen what happened just straight away.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Look at that, straight away from notation software, my arrangement, it just bring it in and right away you can hear it. The cool thing about this is that it takes the lyrics that you inputted into your notation. It takes the XML. So I already inputted Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, and I arranged this how I wanted to with these 4 parts. If you just listen to it in the software here, it sounds pretty bad. When you pull it in here, straight away, it sounds like this.
Amazing grace.
And then what we can do is assign different voices. For example, I wanna have this female voice here, and then I'm gonna put my voice here, and then let's add this Maximus to the bottom part, and then let's see how this would sound. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Yes, so we got different voices in there now and everything. And what's another cool feature here is that you can actually turn this into a choir as well. If you go into just one of these single voices, click on it, you can click turn on choir mode. And so I did that already with this track, and it looks like this. And then you just select a bunch of different voices, put it there, and then I did that for each part. So each part has slightly different singers in it. They're all spaced out in like a church setting. You can also change whether it's a church choir or small room. It just changes the size of the room. So I'm gonna let you listen to just the choir sound. I'm gonna start halfway through here just because you've already heard that first part a lot. Saved a wretch like me. And then I think it sounds really cool when you add the choir along with the kind of solo voices. It creates like this super rich sound. Listen to this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. So cool. If you want to try this out for yourself, there's a link in the description for Ace Studio, and just check it out. And now there's a cool way that you can actually share your creation with people once you've finished with it. In the top right corner, there is a share button. And if you click on that, then it'll actually take you to a page where people can follow along with the lyrics, along with the music, and they can actually mute or unmute specific channels, allowing them to hear specific parts. So that's a really neat way to share with people. You can also just export your project as an audio file and, like I've done, upload it to Planning Center. So I don't know about you, but my mind is blown with what technology can do these days in just aiding us in our music making. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to watch another video on harmony singing, click up this video right here. It might even be a video of my arrangement of Amazing Grace, so I hope to see you over there.